Good morning, everybody. All the things I'm not good at: fun, brief, and exciting. That's quite the challenge. So with that note, as you know, municipal law says we have to meet in the sunshine. So I'm going to announce today we did something that was illegal and we didn't meet in the sunshine, because part of our 2021 plan is as follows. When you see Chief Hicks as he walks out the door, I'm proud to announce that he will be passing out counterfeit money for everybody for the holidays. And when you pass Chief Hicks, Chief Johnson will be standing there, who has the antibodies for COVID. So with that is our gift from the city for 2021. So that's as good as I can do it light and cheery. Was that pretty good? All right. Obviously, 2021's been a tough year, so the next thing the city did was we're ending it on December 31st, and we get to start anew. But even though the year was pretty challenging, I think there were a couple of little bright spots that I'd like to reflect on, and then answer any questions you have about what the city's done or moving forward. And so let's start with the first big one, obviously COVID. And I think for most of us in the municipal government sector, COVID's been like the hurricane that doesn't go away. And if you've done the hurricane stuff from the prep side, you know, you got the electric guys out there doing stuff, you got the police running around, you got the fire guys, everybody's constantly going. And oh, I forgot the gas guys. Jack, I always forget about you. But you're on my list. And so that hurricane week, it's 3 or 4 days from hell, and it 24/7, and that seems how COVID's been this year. One challenge to the next for 9-10 months now. So the biggest thing I think that we did get, if you can have success out of it, was a big nod, I think, to our elected officials, from the federal government, from the congressman down to the states, and that was really in the form of the CARES Act money. And when the county commission decided to split that up and then give, we got $64 million of that and split the $15 million up into the local pot. And then Mayor Dennison and the commission got into splitting that up and coming up with the concept to really benefit Leesburg businesses. I think probably was our biggest success this year. So just yesterday, we got out our last CARES Check Act. In all, we had the 4 categories. We were able to give some money back to the chamber to help them, the partnership, the CDC, got some money to the mall. We got some money to the downtown business property owners to help and keep downtown moving in the right direction, because it was such on a positive note before COVID. But then we funded in all probably about 80 businesses with either a $5,000 or $10,000 grant. So I think that was a big help. If we're lucky, the county in the next week or so, we've applied for another $75,000 in funding. So if we're lucky, we'll know in another week or so if we get that. And then that $75,000 probably will fund like another 10 or 11 businesses. So I think our CARES Act was probably the most successful thing that we accomplished this year. But also in that, we did a lot back in March and April to help our utility customers with the no disconnect policy, the no fee policy, and putting money in the Cures Fund. So if you do know folks or businesses that still are struggling with their utility bills or whatever, have them get in touch with our utility department, because there's still about $30,000 of CARES Act money there, and the commission got that up. Generally, we do about $30,000 a year. This year, we got that up to about $150,000. So there's still some CARES Act money. So moving on from COVID, talk about some more popular stuff. We have been in like the groundbreaking trifecta here in the last few weeks, if you haven't noticed. It started with the swimming pool over on Pine Street. So the aquatic facility has started. That's really a neat facility. Go by Pine Street and check it out. You'll see a big giant dirt hole. I promise when that big giant dirt hole is gone, there'll be a really cool swimming pool, slides, games, hooks and ladders, and all sorts of aquatic stuff, a 2-facility pool and a bathhouse. So it'll be a really nice addition to the corridor right off downtown on Pine Street. The other day, we also cut the ribbon at the airport for new commercial hangars And we're also working on the 3113 pavement job, which is really a big deal. Around the corner will be the groundbreaking for the teen center. So that was another big success story for this year. And then with the teen center will also be our partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. The next success, I would say, is we finished the downtown master plan. So many of you sitting in the room participated in the downtown master plan, where we came up with concepts to, again, reinvest in downtown. That was adopted back in May. We passed the budget here in October, and there's 2 or 3 concepts where we're going to start designing, which is in the budget, which the commission will be approving here in the next few weeks. So the downtown master plan was a big one. And then underneath the downtown master plan issue is we renewed the CRA. Kind of a quiet deal, but that goes back and then that helps and funds stuff. So at the end of the day, master plan downtown, I think, has been a big priority. And now I have to regress from exciting and go boring. And so on the surface, you see all kind of the fun stuff, but really underneath that is really the infrastructure that keeps everything moving. It's the boring, drab stuff that I really like. So with that, I get back to the department head I forget about the most, but love the most, which is Jack Rogers, our gas director. I think I was in my office the other day. The ICMA magazine came in. It's called Municipal Government or something like that. I hardly ever read it. But for whatever reason, I was cleaning off my desk. That thing was sitting on there. I blew off the dust, opened it up, and my name was in it. So actually 25 years is my anniversary in municipal government this year. But I say that because I think in the 25 years experience, the most exciting thing I've done is one of those drab things. But it's one of those things that keeps the wheel turning, because to do the fancy stuff, you need money. Again, at the end of the show, Chief will be giving out counterfeit money, because that helps everything. But in this case, the gas deal, it was the gas agreement that with the villages that we struck. We talked about their growth a little bit earlier this morning, and that really is an opportunity for a lot of stuff. It really funds our service economy. And so when they announced their growth, one of the things that we were able to do was we were able to encourage them to sell natural gas in all the homes and the commercial areas they were building. That agreement actually started about 2 years ago. We got into a little brouhaha with another utility provider, spent a couple of coin on some attorney, but at the end of the day, we actually won that fight. And what that will do for us is immense, because it will really allow us to develop a lot of capital, a lot of additional utility revenue that then comes back and funds all the improvement projects that are fun and glitzy. And Jack had a big part in that. We actually finished it in a trial at the Public Service Commission back in January, so that was the beginning of the year, and then it was actually tied and put to bed in June. But that's, in my 25 years, probably one of the biggest single accomplishments, and years to come. So after you guys shoo me off and bring on the next city manager, hopefully, Minner and Rogers did that one, so hopefully that one will last. That's a big deal. So with that, on to more drab stuff. We did the sewer plant expansion very quietly. We're working on that, expanding the Turnpike treatment plant, because one of the other things on the horizon is there's been a real big uptick in residential growth, subdivisions popping up all over the place. The mayor continually getting a headache with these crazy meetings that we've been dealing with and those type of things. We did we did issue some debt in the electric and the sewer funds to expand the system, so that was a big deal. And then, of course, I think at the end of the day, the city's finances, our cash positions, we hit tax rollback, if you didn't notice yet, because when you got your tax bill, and we got our electric rates down. So in the past 7 years, we've gone from the probably the most expensive utility to now we're in the bottom of the top quarter to where we're one of the least expensive utilities in the state. So that those are drab accomplishments, but they're the fun stuff. So back to chipper and happy. So hope everybody has a great holiday. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. That was pretty brief for me. And no questions, that's even better.